What's up, guys? This is Doug with Basement Level Magic, and we're back for another Battle for Zendikar Swiss. What's up, guys? This is Doug with Basement Level Magic. We're back for another Battle for Zendikar Swiss draft. Open up a pretty unexciting rare in the Gruesome Slaughter. I'm not going to pick that up. But what is good in this pack? I mean, the Sky Spawner and the Bane of Balagad. I know a lot of people would pick the Sky Spawner first, but I think I'm going to take the Bane, as there's nothing else blue in this pack. Although if we do, you know, there's a good chance nobody to our left gets into blue. Bane's too good. This pack is also kind of unexciting. There's a Core Castigator and Ghostly Sentinel and Benthic Infiltrator that I would consider. After passing a really good blue flyer, picking up another flyer seems a little awkward to me. But not impossible. So I'm really looking between the two cores, the Benthic Infiltrator and the Ghostly Sentinel, and I think here I just want to take what sounds like the most fun. Vampiric Rites is fun too, but I think probably I want to go highest power level is probably the Ghostly Sentinel. I'll take the Ghostly Sentinel and we'll see where we end up. We've seen very little good red go by, so Stone Fury is a pretty good choice here. Colostry Healer is a card that, if you watch the channel, you know I am a big fan of. I think it's just a ton of fun. Grove Tender Druids is good, but it puts you in green, and I don't want to be a third pick. I don't want to take a third pick green card. I am gonna take another color though, and you know I don't really want to take a third pick onto Greathorn, and a Kai'Sail Scout's not a card I play. Probably the most powerful card here is the Stone Fury, but it's double costed, and if I'm going to take a second color at this point, pick 3, I think I'd rather take a single costed card. That's tough though. The Colostry Healer is just so much fun. Yeah, I think probably the safest pick is the Stone Fury. I'll go ahead and take that. Another core Blade Whirl. You know, this pack's not very exciting either. The Valcut Predator is probably the best card here. Core Blade Whirl's close, but I'm going to take the Predator. Looks like at this point we're trying to do something pretty aggressive. And the Chasm Guide definitely fits into the aggressive strategy. If not, Transgress the Mind is a fun card. Eldrazi Devastator is always a good pickup, but we can get those late if we need to. So we'll take the Chasm Guide. If we end up in allies, I'm going to be bummed that I passed that Core Castigator and the 2 Core Blade Whirls, but you know, there's definitely other allies that are just as good, if not better. Running out of stuff to pick here. I could take the Felidar Cub just as a 2/2 with a little upside. Felidar Cub's not an exciting pick, but when you don't have one and you need one, boy, do you hate yourself for not picking it up. So I'm going to go ahead and take one. I'm happy with that. Bane of Balagad's a good top-end card. I'd love to see, you know, something in the rare slot that really improves our chances. Something with a high power level that's in a color we can play. And we're not entirely sure we're playing white either. Both of those cards are pretty unexciting. I think the red cards are fairly good. But if we end up in, you know, red-blue or even in green-red, I think we could have a pretty fine deck. Green-red is definitely one of my favorites. When the landfall works, it really works. Here, again, we're going to take the safer of the 2 picks. The things I would consider out of this pack are the Devastator, the Shatterskull Recruit, and the Snapping Gnarlid. Waving Elemental's good, but I don't have any other blue, and it worries me that I put the player to my left in blue and he's going to be passing to me in pack 2, so I'm going to pick probably just the Shatterskull Recruit. We're rewarded here. The Firemantle Mage is an excellent pickup for an aggressive style deck. Here we can take another Felidar Cub, or we can get a Tajiru Stalwart. I think I'm going to take this Stalwart, and the reason for that is that if I pick up Warcaller, I want to be able to take it and not feel bad about playing green. Here I'll take the Castigator. It's the perfect card for what we're doing. And Belligerent Whiptail is a good filler card. If we have to play it, we can. And it definitely fits on landfall deck and trades up. Or, you know, potentially it's just not blocked on a turn you play a land. Looming Spires I'm happy with playing at least one of. I've put Warpaint in before, but it's not a card that I love for sure. Maybe when we start playing Oath of the Gatewatch, you know, some of the enchantments will get better. I know there seems to be quite a bit of equipment in Oath of the Gatewatch, and some cards that you know, benefit from you having equipment in the game or on a creature. So I'm looking forward to like a little bit of different stuff. I'll probably put out a video on some of my favorite picks or some of my favorite cards from Oath of the Gatewatch that have been spoiled. So that I can talk about, you know, how I think they relate to how I want to play Limited. But definitely it's time for this format to get shaken up a little bit. Here, oops, Visual Studio is launching. I'm going to take the Akum Hellkite. It's out of the Touch of the Void, and I would love to take the Touch of the Void as well, but I think the Hellkite is just too much power to pass up. It's a card I've been playing a lot. Josh and I've been playing a little Paper Magic lately, just doing kind of like sealed pools between ourselves, and then, you know, shuffling up the cards and or putting the colors together and then drawing out of a hat to see which color we play. And for some reason in the pool we've been using, there's 2 Akum Hellkites. I'll go ahead and minimize that. Sorry about that interruption there. I'm doing an install in the background while I record. Kind of a bummer pack, really. You know, we could play an Inspired Charge. We currently have 9 creature spells. Could just take the Drana's Emissary and splash for it. It's a pretty good card, but I don't see us having a ton of ways to gain life other than this. Not that we have any effects that, you know, that reward us for gaining life yet. But I think I often play 3-color when I play allies, and I'm not opposed to it here. I mean, the Channeler is also, you know, a ramp to Bane of Belaged, or even to Akum Hellkite, and I could definitely see taking that. But the Drana's Emissary is just very powerful. I've been talking a lot about the safe picks. I mean, the safe pick is to take a Vestige or a Kozilek's Channeler here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll just take the Channeler. 5-drop slot is getting pretty full now, though. Here we have another Predator versus a Invoker versus a Zada. I have nothing right now that I can cast on Zada, so really he's just a 3/3 for 4, which is, you know, okay. Probably if I want to go straight aggro, the Valakut Predator is the best, and if I want to have a little, you know, insurance for late game, the Valakut Invoker is better. With the cards we already have, I think probably, it does block well too, but probably the Predator is the card. Here we got Reproach versus Sheer Drop versus Nettle Drone. I know a lot of people would take Nettle Drone even though they're not playing colorless. I think we need some removal though. We have 11 creatures and only 1 spell, so the choices here are between the Sheer Drop and the Gideon's Reproach. I like Reproach better. I'm going to take the Reproach. Yeah, so Munda is definitely a reward for playing red-white allies. So we'll take him for sure. I would love some more combat tricks. I think we'll prioritize that in probably pack 3. I mean, I could take Sheer Strike or Tandem Tactics here rather than Expedition Envoy. I don't think Expedition Envoy is like busted or anything. It's a pretty good ally. I think with Mundo, we're rewarded for having a bunch of allies. So yet another 5-drop or a Tandem Tactics or another Sheer Strike. I think we'll take the Sheer Strike. Sort of a removal spell in this deck. Not much here we can play. I don't think I've ever resolved an Angelic Gift in a draft. And I don't think that today's the day. I think the only thing that we might play is the Whiptail, so we'll go ahead and throw that in. So here we can pick Focus or Smite the Monstrous. I would love to have one Smite for the sideboard, but I think Lithomancer's Focus probably makes the deck, so let's go ahead and grab that. And then Inspired Charge, unless we get a whole bunch more removal, is probably going to make the deck as well. So we're really only looking to pick up like what, four more cards. Boiling Earth again, good in the sideboard. The Hedron Blade also could have been good. As sometimes when you're playing allies, you just run into those big Eldrazi and just have no way through. I guess we'll take the Blighted Step. That seems good. Valakut is fine. Somebody can have that. That's a cool swamp. I think the swamps must be my favorite. I feel like I always comment on the swamps. Alright, final pack. There's like pretty much nothing here for us. I feel like... And Josh and I on this account already have a playset of all of the dual lands. Yeah, there's just really nothing here I would want to play. I don't want to first pick a Sandstone Bridge, though. I suppose I'll take the Fortified Rampart. In certain matchups, I suppose it's definitely worth playing. I will take the Emeria Shepherd. That seems like it fits. This card is a beating. As long as everything you have in the graveyard hasn't been adjusted. I'm not opposed to a main deck Fortified Rampart. I think the card is excellent, but so far we're in an aggressive shell, and so I'm not sure that I want it in this deck. I think this pick has to be the Resolute Blademaster. I think it's basically perfect for the deck. Encircling Fissure is also pretty good in an ally strategy, as a lot of times, you know, this is a good way to get, as your creatures don't block all that well, and this might be the way to get damage in, you know, negate an attack so that you can follow it up with like an attack of your own and an Inspired Charge maybe. Stasis there? Yeah, okay. So we got a deck. Looks pretty good, to be honest. What? Alright, we'll take an Angelic Captain. I mean, 5-drop is definitely full. I could see not playing the Kozilek's Channeler, because honestly, what are we going to rather do? So the Stonewaker not being... We're playing 15 creatures currently. I mean, we might just want to Outnumber or Sheer Drop. Outnumber being a little more efficient, but being the, you know, you have to have creatures on the board. Stonewaker is super aggressive, but I think we have better uses for our mana. Could take a focus number 2, or a Slide Runner. I like both of those picks. God, Outnumber versus Sheer Drop. I think Outnumber being at 1 mana is probably what I'd rather have. Now we have Focus versus Sheer Strike again. I'll take the Sheer Strike. I think I prefer it to the Lithomancer's Focus. Here, not much we're going to play. I will take a Sandstone Bridge. Cohort, because it's an ally, but otherwise, you know, no real reason. I think I might even splash for the March from the Tomb, as in this deck it looks pretty awesome. Weird that I did not see a single McKindy Patrol, did I? Someone will have to look back and let me know. I don't think I saw a single McKindy Patrol. So we got some cuts to make, but this deck looks sweet. Certainly aggressive. And we certainly got rewarded by pulling 3 gold cards. March from the Tomb with Chasm Guide. I don't know what to cut. Separate it out. I feel like we want to cut probably non-creature spells. So as far as removal goes, I could see cutting the Inspired Charge since we have like Resolute Blade Master and Angelic Captain, and even Munda. I could see cutting. Yeah, I could see cutting the Focus. It's just so much more efficient than the Sheer Strike. Not so much, but 1 mana. When this March from the Tomb is resolved, it is a absolute beating in an ally deck. Sorry, my headphone cord got coiled around the leg of the chair. So really we want to make 3 cuts. I could see cutting Is it crazy to want to cut Stone Fury? I feel like my 5-drop slot is full, and I have Stasis Snare, Encircling Fissure, Outnumber, Strike, Focus, Gideon's Reproach. I feel like I have better removal than this. And it's double red. I'm sure someone will let me know if they think that's wrong, but I feel like we have a ton of good removal and don't need the Stone Fury. I could see cutting the Cub, as it's not an ally. And I could see cutting... I kind of want to cut the Focus. I prefer Sure Strike to Focus, as it, in most cases, it does the same thing, but has a little bit more damage if you're attacking and just need to get through for lethal. The negating the colorless damage, you know, most of the time is the same as having First Strike and having +3. I mean, that's a big attack with most of these creatures. So how many actual allies do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, just 8. I mean, 8 out of 14 is not bad. I sort of thought it was more than that. Maybe the March from the Tomb isn't that good then. I mean, if I cut like a Valka Predator in favor, and this is just, you know, speculation, in favor of like a Reckless Cohort to go up to 9, maybe the March from the Tomb makes a little more sense. Plus, I think it fits the curve pretty well. But it makes the mana a little easier if we're not trying to splash for something. And we still need one cut, which I think probably needs to be like the Lithomancer's Focus. Maybe it's just the Inspired Charge, though. I don't know, 15 creatures and Inspired Charge just seem so good to me. Yeah, I think I'm going to run that. I play 1 Looming Spires, Sandstone Bridge, Blighted Step. And we'll see how that works out. It's going to be almost even, I think. Yeah, 8-7. I feel like it should be the other way around, though. As I definitely want to have red earlier than white. Yeah, alright, we'll run that, guys. Thanks for